Good morning, Mildura, and welcome to the Thunder Show, where we are talking to you guys about how to sell your home for more. So this is the show dedicated to property owners that are thinking of potentially selling their property in the next couple of months, next year, or even in 20 years' time, so you can really get your house ready and maximise that top dollar. So today's show is all about street appeal. It's about those first impressions. What is somebody going to think as soon as they rock up to your house, and what is that first thought? So, introducing it and starting us off with a few of those tips to maximise those first impressions. Luke Walker is going to kick us off.
Hey guys, how are you going? So first of all, we've got 2 movie tickets up for this month for anybody who likes and shares more than 2 of our videos. So we do 2 a week. So jump on, like it, share it, comment it, and we'll run the draw for a couple of movie tickets at the end of the month.
So just give this a video some love, press the like button, hit the share, and you're in the draw to win some movie tickets here in Mildura.
Beautiful. All right, so moving on with the show, guys. So first thing we want to do, if your property's been shortlisted, the very next thing that's going to happen is they're going to pull up out the front of the house. So street appeal is the very next most important thing that we need to impress with. So tip number 1, when you're preparing your home, stand out the front of the property on the opposite side of the road, have a look at your house and think, what could I do to improve this? Topic number 1 that I've got is to check out the paint. So check out the paint. Is it fresh? Is it neutral? Is it crisp? What's it look like? Could it pop? Could it look a little bit better? So assess that and work out whether you potentially need to have the house repainted.
Tip number 2 is, as you said, stand there, check out the front fence. If you have a fence out there, is the paint peeling on the fence? Does it need to be cleaned, whether it's be brick or picket fence or whatnot, and really make it appealing? If it's just one of those, if it's a little epoxy fence, is it even necessary? And could it be sort of rather some hedging or just something up front that sort of gives it that sort of separation from the street? Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's a huge one. You don't want a fence that's going to completely block the house so that you can't see how nice the house is. And you know, something just nice and simple, inviting, that people can see how good it looks. You know, just a little bit of greenery, bit of colour in the flowers is always good as well. Make it look inviting. So, tip number 3, we've got a well manicured lawn. So, check your lawns. You know, are they manicured, whipper-snipped? Make it look awesome. Make it look like somebody cares about the place, so that when people pull up, they're wowed by how good the grass looks. Also, to that point, check next door. It's very, very important. All of your buyers, when they pull up, are gonna look at next door as well as your place.
Get onto the good side of your neighbours, and even just give them a hand. Because again, if you're trying to sell everything, the whole street almost makes a difference. Yeah. So even if you can get on their good side and just say, hey, can you just mow the lawn or something like that if it's a bit out, or even just help them out. Again, it's all going to benefit you on your sale. Yeah.
Offer to mow it yourself if you have to, or talk to your agent and see if they can talk to the neighbours next door and arrange it to be done. It's really important because all of your buyers will look next door and they will make a judgment on that.
And with everything, that front is that first impression. You really want to welcome them home. So we've talked about the front lawn, but even having a pathway leading up to the house, or that as they walk up to the house, can that be as appealing as possible? So whichever way you get to the front door, how is that going to? How can you make that appealing? Whether it be the driveway that they're walking up, or if you have that path, whether you've got cobblestones or something along those sort of lines, it's something that. Again, you want to welcome them and make them feel like they're walking into their own home.
Yeah. And another point further to a pathway, it's really all about the mindset of somebody. So, essentially you're giving them one option to walk up the driveway, if that's all you've got, as opposed to having a nice pathway that they can walk straight up to your front door and feel invited into the home.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good one too. So topic number 5 is add some colour with flowers. So this is why we're sort of talking about, whether it be selling now, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it might be. Give yourself plenty of time to establish some nice gardens, a bit of nice greenery, something that's going to impress. And obviously, it takes time to grow some gardens. So get onto that sooner rather than later. Spring's a good time to start thinking about that. And special mention is the lily pilly shed this morning. So while we're talking about a bit of garden, bit of greenery, bit of colour, speak to the guys out at the lily pilly shed.
Luke, tell me how did you make your garden? Because Luke's just re-landscaped landscaped his backyard and his front yard as well.
Yeah. So obviously it's only early stages, so I can't take any glorious photos for everybody yet. But across the back fence we've got some lily pillies that will grow into a nice big hedge, and out the front we've got the pathway with a couple of nice lily pilly bushes that will be up to the front door. So it should look pretty special when it's
and I think
that's
so important for you guys to know as well, whether you're thinking of doing something now, or even like Luke's done his yard about 3 months ago. It's still growing, it's still doing things. You might need it to give yourself 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, I don't know, whatever it may be. Whether you're thinking moving in 10 years' time, just have a bit of a think about how is that garden going to look in that time. Like, does it need to grow out a little bit more? Is there hedging that needs to be put in today to look amazing in 5 years' time, because you think, well, the kids have moved out, so now I don't really need this much space anymore, but it's going to look fantastic for the next family.
Yeah. So a couple of little bits and pieces, guys, from the lily pilly shed. We've got 6 lily pillies for $100. English box. What's that?
English box.
Lerope.
Nandinas.
For $6, limited stock. Woolly Bush 3 foot standard roses, Ficus standard and bush, Silver Sheen Capital, Cleveland ornamental pears, a whole heap of things. And guys, the lily pilly shed out there has been established for more than 20 years, specialising in lily pillies. I personally think lily pillies are, an evergreen. It's just something that will look good year round, and it's just a nice bit of colour without being over the top.
And if you're not sure what they look like, a good drive down, say, Panorama Drive. There's a fair few houses that sort of have either lily pilly hedges or the balls that really showcase what they look like and what a really nice street appeal can be. And that's another thing, if you're unsure about how to maximise that, have a bit of a drive around and see what you like as well, and get some ideas and inspiration.
There's some crackers down Shering Way as well. If you ever want some inspiration, drive down Shering Way. There's some crackers down there, not only the garden but just how they've presented the whole landscaping out the front.
And again, if you do show us some love on this video and share this video, and for those in Mildura, we are giving away some movie tickets for whoever who gives us some love and likes some videos over the next month. So, and we'll be drawing that at the end of the month. So please do like this video if you're finding what we're talking about useful. And you could be taking yourself and somebody else to a movie night in a month's time and sort of get out of this freezing cold weather.
Beautiful.
Well,
so guys, first impressions do count. If you want to sell your home for top dollar, first impressions are very, very important. So, like we say, start thinking about that now for whether that might be tomorrow, months, or even years down the track. Start thinking about it.
You want to make them fall in love with the property before they even step inside the door.
Well said.
Well, this is the Thunder Show. So I think we're going to be coming to you live every single week, 8 o'clock here from a cafe around Mildura, and talking about how to sell your home for more. And, well, as always, I'm Lucas Petter.
Yeah, and I'm Luke, and I hope we've given you some valuable information. Get out there and start doing some gardening.
And we'll see you on next week's show.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.